So, um, don't you love it when whatever you're gonna say is just like flies right the fuck out your head? Excuse my language, but like, really? Okay. So I saw some, crappy comments on YouTube attached to somebody's account who is, they impersonate Michael Jackson as, like, for a living, but they've actually had, like, very few, what do you call it, like, modifications to how they look. So, anyway, so I commented on it, and I said, something like, you know, you're very handsome, which I mean, I believe that. I wouldn't just say that. And I said, you know, you gotta understand that your haters, they hate you because, they don't shine as brightly as you, and, it makes them insecure. Because it reflects on them how they feel about themselves. And, you know, I mean, it's everybody's choice to shine or not. I know that sounds ridiculous, but, like, you know, there are people who are just special. Or they seem to be anyway. I don't think anybody's, like, particularly, like, more important than anyone else. That's not what I mean. But there is something about certain people. I can't, you know, people call it, like, the X Factor. They call it, like, you know, different things. But, like, it's a real thing. And, what I mean is, like, some people have that, you know, and other people just don't. But this particular young man, I think he's, like, young man. He's probably younger than me anyway. I mean, everybody seems younger than me. Not, like, in actual, like, earth age, but just in their spirit, I guess. I'm a particularly old soul. I mean, I felt old when I was a child. Anyway, not in a bad way, just old. And, oh wow, that fog definitely rolled back in. So, but some people just don't shine in that way. And, you know, sure, have compassion for them and all, but, like, those same people will hate you. They'll hate your fucking guts on sight just because you're you. And that's all you have to do. There's not anything more involved in it than that. It's really not about you. And I think it's important to understand this because, and I don't mean like your feelings aren't valid about whatever, you know, crappy thing, you know, happens to you, or that's not what I mean. Like, it's not about you in the sense that they're projecting. And unhealed people tend to do that. They project. And, you know, they project their own weaknesses, their own, and as they see them. Oh, yeah. God, it is so foggy up here. Wow. They tend to project those things onto us, onto people who are healed, is what I mean. And when you understand that, you're going through life really as like a blank wall. So like people project their shit onto you. And also as a mirror. You can choose to be a mirror, and this is the power behind being an empath. When you choose to be a mirror, when you figure all of that out and you get yourself all healed and situated and everything else, you can choose to be a mirror rather than a blank wall where everybody projects their stuff like a projector. You know, you project your picture onto the wall. It's the same thing with especially people who tend to be diametrically opposed to empaths, which, you know, not all empaths are good, and I'm tired of hearing that empath narcissist paradigm. Like, you know, you went through narcissistic abuse because you're some amazing person, you know, this great empath and all this. That's just not true. I mean, it is true there are exceptions to the rule, but I found that a lot of empaths tend to get stuck in this childlike, like, self-absorbed stage, and they tend not to grow out of it, which is troubling. And often they either have been narcissist or they have narcissistic traits. So, you know, it's important to understand those things about empaths. You know, we're vulnerable to things in ways that other people wouldn't be. And those narcissists, they may, and I know this is hard to say, it's hard for me to say, but they may take on empathetic traits just like an empath can take on narcissistic traits. It's true. Look it up. And it's not just about, looking something up on Google or whatever. Like, this is something I know from experiential, my experiences in life. So, but when you have people like hating on you, like really bad, it's really bad. They're hating on you because, like I said about the empath stuff, but when you really shine, say you're an empath that's like, really bright and shiny, you're gonna have people that hate you just because you're you. You're gonna have people that hate you just because they don't shine as brightly as you. You're gonna have people that, that you're gonna mirror back to them instead of all the wonderful things, all the crappy things that they see in themselves, or the lack of the things that you have. And, it's not that people don't want you to do well. A lot of the time they don't want you to do well, and they don't want you to do better than them. It's rough out there, and, the power of not giving up is a real thing. And so when you find yourself in those times where you're just like, fuck, I just can't seem to, make any real friends. I can't really seem to make any lasting connections, like coworkers, like colleagues, whatever it is, romance. And, just remember that you're special and you're kept separate for a reason. It's not easy to believe that all the time, but it's the truth all the same. And, I think that often when people are hating on you and you know that they're hating on you really for your gifts, it's really not about you. Once you know that, it frees you in so many ways to be even more of yourself and to shine even brighter, because there are people, just as many people, that may hate you, quote unquote hate you, they really hate themselves. It's a secret, but like, it's the truth. You do inspire people, and you do bring people further along their path, and you do heal people in ways that you probably don't even know that you do. So, keep the faith that way. I know it's not easy. I know it's hard. It's really freaking hard sometimes. And, just remember that, though. Just remember that. Because in your dark times, you gotta have somewhere to turn. And, I mean, I really suggest to people, and I probably always will, I'm certain I will, actually, that they turn to Jesus Christ. And as weird as that may sound, it might sound like, I'm trying to convert people. And no, I'm not. I'm simply like, I love you enough, whether you like me or not, whether you hate me or not. I love you and your eternal soul enough to bring up going to God to you. Like, however uncomfortable that may make you feel, and may make me feel even at times. Stop, Mamu. It's important that we share not only the gospel with one another, but the faith, that the grace that God and Jesus Christ freely offer to all of us. Like, and so, that stable foundation serves you from before your death until after, or before your birth until after your death. Stop, Libby. And it always will. And, I suggest to people who are, being hated on, who are experiencing fear, anxiety, depression, things like that, please stop, Lovey. That they turn to God and, pray, fast, meditate, do the things that make you feel good. And I don't just mean in like some 3D like pleasure way. I mean like they really make you feel stronger. They make you feel more fulfilled. They make you feel more in touch with your soul, with your higher self. These are the things that are going to get you through those dark times when you don't have anyone around at all. And this is why it's so important to have faith. Excuse me. Is because when you have nothing and no one else, and you're broke and you're homeless, and your only friend is a dog. I'm talking about myself right now. You've got to have something else to turn to. And frankly, I've looked and there isn't anything else. Like, nothing. nothing else at all. And it has to be something that is always faithful, something that's always true, something that always has your best interest in mind. And I just don't know anyone or anything else that's going to do that for me all the time. And even beyond my own capabilities. And, you know, where God is not able, and where I'm not able, God is able. Where other things are not able, God is able. God is always able and willing to help those who love him. All things work together for good for those who love Christ, for those who love God. And it really is just a matter of saying that prayer within yourself and realizing that it was there all along, and it will never leave you, never, never, never. And how amazing that is, how amazing that grace is. Like, you know, Amazing Grace, that song's, you know, it's a great song. And I love the Annie DeFranco version of that song. So if you want to look that up, it's a great song. Annie DeFranco, Amazing Grace. And it's got a great beat to it. And you know, when you find yourself in those darker moments, you know, just hang in there and remember how hard other things have been. Because I'm sure you've probably been through something harder in some way or another. You know, maybe it doesn't seem like it in the moment, but you have. And you thought that you weren't going to make it through that either. And you did. You're sitting here watching this video. So, you know, like that's the kind of thing that will get you through. And like today, I had a really hard day. And I had some like physical stuff going on, and you know, I'm broke right now. I don't have any money, and I do have some, but like, you know, not more than $30 for the rest of the month. And you know, I'm alone. I'm not lonely, but I'm alone, and I'm alone most of the time. And you know, today's also the anniversary of helping save that man's life in the accident on the 154. And I have to say that that's just like an amazing accomplishment. It's been a year since that happened, exactly today, and that's just amazing. You know, it's amazing how things happen, and I just, you know, I'm sitting here, and you know, I don't really have any reason to be happy. Not really. If you look at my life, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock when I said that, I don't really have any reason to be happy, other than I know that the Lord loves me, and I know that unequivocally. I know that beyond any shadow of any doubt at all. There's just no doubt in my mind. And also, you know, I know that I'm stronger, more capable, and I have grace sufficient for whatever I may need. And that's incredible. That feeling, that's inner strength and courage to, you know, stand up in the face of everything. Be like, yeah, I'm homeless. And, you know, my best friend, yeah, is a dog right now. And, you know, I don't really talk to many people, and many people don't really talk to me. And, you know, all these different things. Like, there's all these things I could point out. And still at the same time, I'm probably the happiest person for several miles around me in any given direction. So, like, who wins? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I've got people all around me, you know, up here on the mountain. Multi-million-dollar homes, left and right, and all this kind of shit. And you know what? I bet you none of them are as happy as I am. When you realize that kind of thing, you know, you have an inner glow that's different. It's just different. And nobody can take that from you. Your belief in God is not anything that anyone could ever take from you. Your belief in yourself is not something that anyone could ever take from you. So, you know, I really suggest that you keep on going, because, warrior, this shit is not over, and we need you. And you've got to just keep trucking, because you're worth it. God's worth it. You're worth it more than anything else. One of the biggest gifts you could ever give to the world is loving yourself, a loved, healed person, you know? So, you know, don't give up. Realize that when you have haters, it's really not about you. It's about them. And it's about their unhealed crap. And, you know, don't take it personally. Literally don't. You know, realize that those people are really your admirers in masks. And, you know, just don't ever give up. Never give up, never surrender. And, you know, you're going to make it. And you're going to make it. God doesn't just give you back everything that you lost. He upgrades it. Like a lot. Like a lot, a lot. So hang in there, and yeah, you're going to have a really good night's sleep tonight. And you're going to wake up tomorrow feeling refreshed and amazing. And it's all just going to fall into place. It's all just going to be right there in your lap. And you're just going to be like, oh my God, I love you, Father. I love you. Love, blessings, compassion to everyone. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other, because no one's going to do it for us.